They won't let them join.
I am starting the recording now.
Breeze can't get into the memorial service.
Yeah, we have to open it up to everybody.
I opened it just now.
Alright, so for those of you who can, please join in. Oh, no, still people are joining.
I'm throwing everybody into the channel.
Alright. So, those of you who are here, fucking A. Is there anybody else?
There's one guy left
Preston,
in
I gave
general.
you instructions in private message on how to turn off the join notification.
I don't care about that.
Okay.
I'm having it raw.
Where is her sweater?
It's not hard.
Yeah, you're right. What is it?
So
Settings
you
and
click
notifications.
I think that I've set it up already.
Is it my personal settings?
Yeah, your personal settings, and then in the tabs on the left, there's notifications under app settings. On that page, you scroll down, you turn off user join and user leave.
User join, user leave. Okay, let's see.
Alright.
Thank you. Alright, got it. We're good. We've got 7 minutes until we start.
There might be some sound testing because I'm going to hit. I couldn't get the bot to work, so I'm going to play it through a speaker, and it'll play it through the microphone for music.
Treppy apparently got kicked from voice chat.
Who?
Treppy, look in the in loving memory chat.
Fuck. See if he could. Wait. That he was probably the one that kept joining, and we had to kick shit.
Damn.
How do we unkick them?
What do you mean unkick them?
I don't know anything about that. Admins, please fix. Alright, so for all of you here, if you wish, I'm throwing up a...
It should be fixed now. Sorry. That was me.
I'm throwing up some things in the rabbit. At one point, I will, I will be in the rabbit chat, and there's a physical portion that I need to do, and I will be on webcam to do it for you guys. So if you wish to... those who are waiting for confirmation to get into my room, just refresh your browser.
Where's the link for that?
Huh? The link is in the service program. Alright, everybody, I'd like to thank you for being here. Welcome, friends and family of Kavidun. Can those who have speaking rights mute themselves, please?
Can somebody give me a link real quick to the
It's
brochure thing?
it's in announcements.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah. We have
Cool. Got
4 minutes left until we start officially.
Yeah, so I'm like trying to practically get all this music together.
Yeah.
Love. Come on.
To reiterate, just in case you guys don't know, in the planner, there is on the second page the list of what we are going to be doing, pretty much in order. When the memorial service happens, it's going to be opened up by Kira. Then it's going to be available for those who were Cavi's family. Oh no, the room is full. Fuck.
Are you serious?
I
We have 99 people in this room.
I apologize
not
to those who
surprised.
cannot make it in.
Are you actually kidding? No, wait, no, there's no limit. There's no limit.
We have hit whatever limit that I am forced to have.
There's literally no limit. I'm looking it up right now. There's no limit to the.
In Rabbit, it says the room is full.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, that one. That
Yeah,
one.
the rabbit is full. I apologize for those who cannot make it in. Unfortunately, there was a smaller limit than what I was hoping for.
Wait, this
is
is-
there a possibility to like have 2 rabbit rooms?
There is, but I will not be able to cam on one of them.
This is actually a mild problem because I was also recording this for us, and I'm not in the room yet.
Could someone like another person that's on the rabbit like also stream it at the same time? Like stream the rabbit.
There is going to be
Someone
recordings
set
that
that
I
up
believe
quickly?
Chris is doing,
The redundancy spreads.
right? Alright, I'm gonna test.
Okay, if I can get into the rabbit room, I can record it to Twitch so
Alright.
that everybody can be there.
I would request one of you to please leave the room so we can have our second recording.
I'm gonna play some
Come
music
in.
real quick with the
Come in
speaker,
now.
and I wanna see if it plays well through this microphone real quick.
Alright,
Let me
nobody
know.
else needs to leave if you are. Let me know if you get in here, okay?
How does that sound to everybody?
Send me the room and I'll join quickly.
No. Turn the music off. No.
Oh, I was testing it to see if it worked.
I cannot have. Fuck. Alright. It's rabb.it/crescent_star. It's in the program.
Less than 1 minute. Okay, I need to put this all.
I've never done this kind of thing before. I've never
Alright, I
been
cannot
put
get
on the
into
spot.
room.
Huh?
I cannot get into the room.
Okay, people, please, just please work with us.
Can you kick?
Go
I am
now.
Oh,
I once more did not get into the room. I am refreshing the page until it works.
Yeah. All right.
It appears that I have gotten into the room.
Okay, cool. Somebody else, would you please be so kind as to host my rabbit room through another rabbit room and post the link. We are starting now. Please, for those of you with voice privileges, mute yourself.
I'll do it.
How do I host the room? I've never done that before. I can totally do it.
Basically, you go on Rabbit, you make your own rabbit room, and then you just type in my link.
Okay, 1 second. I have my own rabbit room.
Alright.
I've done this
I'm
before.
starting now. I'm going to give a quick explanation, and then it will be officially started for those that have come late. So, in the program, you will see the funeral service, or the order of service. This is a general guideline of how things are going to happen. For people who wish to speak up, we will do it in order. First, we are going to do Kira. We are going to do words from our close family. They will be led by someone reading off a message that was written by, that will be Kira, followed by Kira reading a message from Iolite. Then we will play a recording of Pawn, and then I will ask those of Cavi's family, the ones that I've set aside before this, to raise their hand in the funeral service chat. The memorial text chat, I should say. Please keep it clean, as I need to see who all is raising their hand. After those who wish to speak have done so, we will open it to those who Cavi have considered her friend, like close friends. You can raise your hands then. You'll get your time. It'll be in turn order. And then anybody else who wishes to say something will be available. After that, we will have a moment of silence to remember not only Cavi, but the Tulpa that left the world with her. And we will continue on.
I think it would be appropriate to read off the names, and if we're going to do that,
trust me, don't worry. Okay.
I would like to read off Iola's children that they had.
Okay. Don't worry. I am going to read off the names.
Okay.
That's how everything's going down now. Afterwards, unfortunately, there is a rabbit cap, so those who are able to, or if we just do the restream, I will be hosting a few videos that Cavi loved, mostly music, followed up by Cavi's #1 favorite movie, THX 1138. This movie had deep meaning to her. So if you wish to continue, we will be in the normal voice chat. And you can join. After the service, I will ask everybody to leave, please. Leave to the normal text or voice chat, or just in general. I will have those of us that are family stay, and we will have our own little session to say our final goodbyes to Kavidun. I thank you guys so much for being here. You have done not only me, but Cavi and everybody close to her a great service by just being here and being with us. And even if you are not here, even if you are listening to this recording, watching me, anything, I'll let you know. I thank you for being here in thought. Even if you are listening to this late, even if you only spent the 1 minute in silence when it is time to be with us, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the deepest depths of my soul, for being here. Thank you, and I love you all. I'm going to start now. I am in real life known as Russell. Online, my name is Crescent Star. It has been Crescent Star since for 4 years. I knew Cavi back then. I will get more into that later when it's my turn to talk. I was formally engaged to Cavi, dating her for a 1.5 years at the very least, and knowing her for much, much longer. I once again would like to thank you all for coming today to honor the memory of Kavidun Alexis Norris, or Positivity, or by her Jewish name of Lexi. A woman who was beloved and cherished by all, or by us all. I am not a rabbi, but I am actually a priest of the Church of Celestia, and I wish to honor her practice of being in Judaism. I ask you to honor me in a tradition, a Jewish tradition, for her. You have been given in the document a list of prayers at the closer to the bottom. If you wish to read along, I'm going to take some words from Psalm 90. Lord, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains we brought forth, or thou hast formed the earth and the world. Even from everlasting to everlasting thou art God. Thou turnest man to contrition, and sayest, Return ye, children of men, for 1,000 years in thy sight are but as yesterday when it is past, and as a watch in the night. Thou carest them away as with a flood, they are as asleep. In the morning they are like grass which groweth up. In the morning it flourisheth and groweth up. In the evening it is cut down and withereth. We bring our years to an end as a tale that is told. The day of our years are the 80 years and 10, or even by reason of strength 80 years. Yet it is their pride but travail and vanity. For it is speedily gone, and we fly away. So teach us to number our days, that we may get us a heart of wisdom. Let thy work appear unto thy servants, and thy glory upon their children. And let the graciousness of the Lord our God be upon us. Establish thou also upon us the work of our hands. Yea, the work of our hands establish thou it. Amen. Now, I wish to take a moment here to throw up my webcam. Give me a half a second as I will throw it up on the rabbit. Of course, rabbit's being stupid. Give me a half a second. I apologize, people. I did not expect rabbit to be this way. I apologize for you greatly, as we will... I wish to impart a sort of... Oh, fuck. Well, I accidentally got locked out of my own room. If one of you could please leave so I can get back in. Thank you. I wish to impart a sort of Korea. I know I'm bastardizing the word. In Jewish tradition, the Korea is meant to express a couple of things. Since we are beings of the physical realm, we need to do something to express, or we need something physical to express our grief. It is a symbol of the tear in the fabric of the family due to the death of a loved one, and it sets us up separation of our status in life. Prior to now, the family and loved ones bared the responsibility of death. With the cut, it shifts to allow the community to take care of them. Sadly, we cannot do the whole tradition, or the whole way as it is traditionally done. So please join me in a moment of silence for a moment as we cut the ribbon, a representation of our physical severing of the one we love. I am going to once again attempt to throw up my webcam. Rabbit, unfortunately, is not working to throw it up. I am sorry for you guys. Please keep it in your mind, your thoughts, your heart. You can watch it in the restream. Our fabric to be cut to identify the time when before Kavi and after her. We sever the ties and we grow stronger tomorrow. I'm going to bastardize this, but Barak Atah Adonai Dea Ha Emet. Blessed are you, Adonai, truthful judge. If you wish, please join me in voice, even though those cannot hear you. A poem of comfort, and think of Kavi and hold her in your heart as we all say, in the rising of the sun, and in its going down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind, and in the chill of winter, we remember them. In the opening of buds, in the rebirthing of spring, we remember them. In the rustling of leaves, in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. In the beginning of the year, when it ends, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as we live, they shall live, or they too shall live, for they are a part of us as we remember them. Once again, I thank you all for joining us today in honor of the memory of Kavi. In this time of mourning, we must focus and remember of the good that she has done to us and those around her. Kavi was a good soul, one that had passion that burned brighter than the sun. She loved those who were close to her. She loved her community and the people around it. She loved you. She loved me. Kavi, as you may or may not know, was an orphan. She was abandoned by her family not just once, but also by her adopted family. She grew up knowing a lot of hardships, but she was strong enough to continue on. But in reality, we were her family. All of us. And we have come together as a family today, and we will leave today as one stronger, not by Kavi's death, but by her life. The life we all remember. I ask of you not to dwell on the negative that has happened. Please do not let these fog your mind of the good. Kavi had always feared her past. She despised it. She tried multiple times to rebrand herself, but each time she failed to cast it away. The sad thing is that none of us can truly break the chains that hold us to yesterday. We all had things we aren't proud of, be it stupid little mistakes or large screw-ups. Kavi messed up a couple of times when she was just only a child. Practically a tween when she was branded an outcast by the one she loved most. No matter what she tried to be with them. To her, Hypnoponies was her life, her family, and she was thrown to the curb just like her parents did. She created a new family in us. She tried her best to do what she could. We must know that our past does not define who we are. Our past does define who we are. My bad. Good, bad, or ugly, we are who we are because of it. It makes us better people, stronger people, as we learn from our mistakes. Kavi had a hard time learning from hers, but she was getting better. I saw the better part of her, and so did a lot of you. We gave her the second, third, 100th chance, because we knew the good in her soul. So let us remember the good that was there. And I apologize, but I had missed the 15-minute mark. Let us remember the good that was there and the good that she tried to share. So, for now, I wish for just a brief moment for you guys to share a moment of silence. As we may have missed it, we can still share our silence with those who could not have made it and be with them as they with us. Please share a moment with me. Thank you for the moment of silence, and know that those who could not make it are here with you today. Know that we are there with them, and we are there to comfort them, as they are here with us. The internet is a strange place, where we can all be together in an instant, but be forever apart. And it brings us closer, not only just us together, but as a world, it brings us all closer. I thank you. If I've learned anything from my time with her, it is to not let things cloud my judgment from the good. It is these moments, the happy ones, that I know her best for. The good that came from her heart radiates with us all. We must also take time to remember of the others that inhabited the mind of the body, the Tolpe who have lost their lives as well. Please take a moment to join me in remembering the others whom have lost their life. Dashi, Dawnlight, Dewdrop, Pinkawat, Abby, Geminis, Amber. I apologize to you. Kira, please speak up with Iolite's children.
Iolite Jr., Glucome, Polar Palette, Velocity. I'm so sorry. I wish I could have gotten to know you. Continue on, Crescent.
Where was I? Amber, Fritters, Pinka, Dinky, Fourth She, Ismata, my two sons, Lunar Orbit and Tinker Hooves, and any others that I may have missed in my speech. We will remember you, and we will forget you, or we will not forget you. Thank you for being with me, for being with us. Before I pass the torch on to Kira, I wish for you to join me in a minute of silence, and after that minute of silence, I wish to give the torch over to Brasta Septon, an actual rabbi, in order to say a few parting prayers in Hebrew. I thank you.
I'm gonna say something real quick. I can tell that somebody is messing with the program here. I don't know who it is, but I can tell you right now, whoever it is, you're not gonna stop us. We will remember Cavi, regardless of what you may think.
We are strong. Now,
Lock the document.
it's okay. It's only a suggestion. You go into read-only mode and you will see it normally. We will fix it after and we will make it proper. For now, let us focus on the funeral.
Is it time?
It is time. Go ahead, please.
I'd like to recite the Mourner's Kaddish, the traditional prayer used at Jewish funerals. I'll do it first in Hebrew, then in English for those of you who want to follow along. Yit Kedal ve'yit Kedash, Shemai Rabba Baal Ma'divra, Chirutai, V'yamlik Malchute, B'chai Echon, Im Yom Echon Ufchaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Uvizman Kariv Ve'imru Amin. V'yahai Shemai Rabba Mavarach Lalam, Ul al me alma, Yit Barak Veish Tabach, Veit Pa'ar, Veit Romam, Veit Nase, Veit Hadar, Veit Ale, Veit Halal Shmai, the Kudsha Barichu, Leila min kol birchata, Yirshirata, Dushbechata, Inechemata, Daemiran Bialma, Yemru, Amin. Yechai Shalama Rabba, Min Shmaya, Yechaim Aleinu, Valko Yisrael, Vaimru, Amin. Ose Shalom Bivromav, Huya Ase Shalom Aleinu, Yalko Yisrael, Imru, Amin. Glorified and sanctified be God's great name throughout the world, which he has created according to his will. May he establish his kingdom in your lifetime and during your days, and within the life of the entire house of Israel, speedily and soon, and say, Amen. May his great name be blessed forever and to all eternity, blessed and praised, glorified and exalted, extolled and honored. Adored and lauded be the name of the Holy One. Blessed be he beyond all the blessings and hymns, praises and consolations that are ever spoken in the world, and say, Amen. May there be abundant peace from heaven, and life for us, and for all Israel, and say, Amen. He who creates peace in his celestial heights, may he create peace for us and for all Israel, and say, Amen.
I thank you. Amen. Thank you all once again for being here, and now I will give the mic to Kira. Please take it over.
Alright. Before I play Amazing Grace, I'm going to say Psalm 23rd. Let's see. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. And now I'm going to play an accompaniment that I will be playing Amazing Grace to. I can tell you that her chains have definitely been, she's been set free from her chains. I'm going to have 5 verses 6 through 9. On this mountain, the Lord Almighty will prepare a feast of rich food for all peoples, the best of meats and the finest of wines. On this mountain, he will destroy the shroud that enfolds all peoples, the sheet that covers all nations. He will swallow up death forever. The sovereign Lord will wipe away the tears from all faces. He will remove his people's disgrace from all the earth. The Lord has spoken. In that day they will surely say, surely this is our God. We trusted in him, and he saved us. This is the Lord. We trusted in him. Let us rejoice and be glad in his salvation. Amen. And now we begin the memoriam for Kavi. Kavi's death was and is a tragedy. Her death has affected us all. Her life wasn't easy. It was fraught with trauma, something that I feared that we shared in common together. It was filled with trauma, suffering, and pain. But something I find that is important now than ever to realize, whether we die today or whether we die 20 years from now, it is inevitable. Knowing that it is inevitable, it is important to know that she is no longer suffering. She is in the hands of God now. That being said, that makes it no easier to deal with. I wish to share a passage from Ecclesiastes, or as the Jews call it, Colette, that shows the very meaning of what I say here now. But all this I laid to heart, examining it all, how the righteous and the wise and their deeds are in the hands of God. Whether it is love or hate, man does not know. Both are before him. It is the same for all, since the same event happens to the righteous and the wicked, to the good and the evil, to the clean and the unclean, to him who sacrifices and him who does not sacrifice. As the good one is, so is the sinner, and he who swears is as he who shuns an oath. This is an evil in all that is done under the sun, that the same event happens to all. Also, the hearts of the children of man are full of evil, and madness is in their hearts while they live. And after that they go to the dead. But he who is joined with the living has hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion. For the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing, and they have no more reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. Their love and their hate and their envy have already perished, and forever they have no more share in all that is done under the sun. During the time that she lived, she did so with zest. She made a community that will live on even after she has passed. This community is a memorial and a testament to Kavi's desire to survive. Even if she herself did not, her memory will live on. This community is her memory, and we must go on. I have another passage from the New Testament in the Bible, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, that I wish to share. It was a favorite of mine, but it was also a favorite of Kavi's, another thing that we had in common. It reads, "If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love. I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor, and I give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. It does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres, and love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part and we prophesy in part, but when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. For now, we see only a reflection as in a mirror, and then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. Kavi loved so much. She did her best to follow this passage in the Bible, even though she was Jewish. For many of us, we felt her love. For others, there was strife. And for others still, there was a mixture of this. I was among those who experienced this mixture. Kavi and I loved each other, but we did not like each other. We had different ways of thinking, different ways of dealing with things, and different ways of loving. But in those differences, we were drawn to our commonality, and that was love. Our diversity is not what makes us weak, it is what makes us strong. Kavi emboldened us all to act with love no matter what we did. She encouraged every single one of us to love each other, to support each other. In the very short time that I was her pet, I got to experience this. Her passion for love. She made a difference in my life, a big one. She kept me going when I felt like I was lost. I only wish I could have done the same for her. But today I refuse to be sad. I refuse to allow this tragedy to overwhelm me in my life. Instead, to choose to live. Because that's what she would have wanted. Because in the end, I choose to celebrate her life instead of mourning about her death. And I encourage you all to do the same. Because that's what she would have wanted. And no, not just what she would have wanted, because the world needs us to contribute. Live for yourselves, not because Kavi would have wanted it. Live because you want to. Live because the alternative is not an option. With this in mind, I invite you all to share stories about her, to share your feelings about her, starting with her family first, then her friends, then to anyone else who wishes to speak. While I know there are many of you here who did not know her that well, I can assure you, she loved you. She loved you all. Before I do hand it over to the rest of her family, my husband, Iolite, had some words he wished to say, but he is unable to be here with us today. He is currently serving in our United States Navy and is forward deployed to Japan currently. As his wife, I will read on his behalf a statement he wished to make here that he would have otherwise given himself. Afterwards, I will give the floor to her family, followed by her friends, and then to everyone else. Since no one's burying my foals, I'll speak for them. Io Jr. was fantastic and worked hard, somewhat quiet, very sweet. Polar Palette was very articulate and beautiful mare, always willing to help someone in love, spending time with her family together and being in calls. Blue Comb was shy and sweet and loved to spend time with her brother and sister. Velocity was barely a filly and will never have the chance the others did to be anything. But I loved my family. I'll be switched in today, burying them on the beach beside or behind our house, and say my words directly to them. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I'm sorry I stayed out of the mainstream of Cavi's friends and family. I'm not very good with words, but if anyone needs anything, I will be there. I think, Crescent, that's on you now.
Alright. For now, I wish for those who are in... What?
I have a squirrels thing to play.
Oh, right. Well, before you get to play it, alright? There are a couple of people who get priority right now. For those who have not... or were not able to come, such as Iolite being red, we also have Squirrel, who is going to have an audio played on his behalf. And we also have Dream, which is going to have their memorial read by Cool Breeze. We're going to start off with them. We'll play the audio and then we'll give Breeze the floor. And since we give her the floor, then she will be one to lead us in. For those who are in Cavi's family chat, in the memorial text chat, please post your hand risen, or your hoof if you will, paw, whichever. If you wish to chat at, or if you wish to give your final goodbyes now, your memorial.
Give me a moment to switch.
We will do it in order of those who have raised their hands.
The chat is locked for me.
Shit. Can we unlock the chat?
Yeah, I can.
I'm so proud of everyone. Now this is for those who are in the Cavi's family room chat. Please, if you are not in this chat, if you do not participate in the Discord server, do not raise your hoof and please delete your comment for now. This is for the family, please. Thank you. Alright. Are you ready?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a second to switch devices. User settings. Voice.
Everybody
device,
will have a chance to speak. Breeze, I will call upon you after this. Please give the family the rights to speak, admins. I wish that you would respect once again, I thank you all for coming.
and everything was just perfectly normal day out. There's a story that was passed down to me. Story of a girl who lived with their mother in her house, just like any other girl. And everything was just perfectly normal day outside. And this little girl, while playing in the living room, heard a knock on the door. When the girl went to go open the door, to her surprise, a man was standing in the doorway with a box wrapped in the most exquisite bow. The man said to the girl, "Please take this gift, and when I come back one day, please return it to me." The girl nodded, and the man left the house. The little girl was curious, as we all are as children, and really wanted to know what was in that box. She couldn't help her curiosity, so she opened it. She was astonished, because in that box was the most beautiful jewels, so perfect and flawless. You can see right through them with their perfect shine. The girl happily took the jewels and wore them everywhere she went. She was happy as can be, but time waits for no one, and 18 years passed. She was at home, relaxing in her living room, when she heard a knock on the door again. Who could it be? She opened the door to see the same man that gave her the box. The man politely asked, "Do you have the gift I brought you?" The girl was scared, as she was so fond of the jewels and didn't want to give them up. She didn't know what to do. She said quickly to give her one moment, and she went to her mother in the other room. The mother told her daughter, "Give the man back what belongs to him." The girl, feeling disheartened, went back to the door and gave the man back the jewels she had. The man smiled and thanked the girl, then disappeared. Ladies and gentlemen, Kathy was that jewel that God put in our lives. And though we loved her dearly, she is still one of God's jewels. And we must understand that we are not here forever, but our lives are gifts to each other. Gifts that must be returned to their rightful owner. We will never forget the good times that Kavi brought us, as the shine she put in our lives is something we'll never lose.
I take it that's it? Yeah. Okay. I will now give it to Breeze. Make sure Breeze has the ability to voice. Please let me know, Breezy, if you are able to speak.
Oh, it's done.
Okay. Try it now,
Oh.
Breeze.
Is it working?
Yes, you have the floor. Go ahead. You
Thank you.
can speak on behalf of the other first and then yourself.
Yes, that's fine. Dear Cavi, I wish I could tell you that even though things between us weren't the same as they once were, you will always be in my thoughts. And I was extremely proud when I heard about your accomplishments this year. I hope very much that what you have left behind continues to grow and flourish. I can't find the words to express what a profound impact you had on my life. I'm sorry I wasn't there in the end, and regret deeply that things turned out this way. Rest in peace. I love you. Happy dreams. There's a lot I could say. Most of it isn't nice, nor is it fair. But I'm choosing to ignore that for today. I want to remember the good. I want to remember and share that with everyone who is here, and for those who will participate by the recordings. The thing I'm going to remember our dear Kavidun for is that she is the reason I'm surrounded by such wonderful ponies and people. And that she essentially was the cosmic force in my life, working in the background. Whether by direct introduction or her own actions, I met the following whom I share some form of relationship with, even now. Rami, Razaline, Brenna, Happy Dreams, Kavidun, Tech Disc, Violet, Phoenix, Crescent Star, and a whole slew of others whom I would love to list right now, but I won't in order to shorten this. There are many times Kavi made me smile or giggle when I felt my worst, and I'm glad she was able to share that with others, as well as in her short time in this world. Rest in peace, dear Kavi, in the warm embrace of eternal sleep, and thank you for all the good you have brought to my life. Love, Cool Breeze.
Thank you, Breeze. Next up on the list, Swift, you have raised your hand first. You will be able to speak now. Give him voice, please.
Mistress, Kavi. For those who don't know, her name, Kavidun, translates to Great Poet. Now, she was not one to write poetry, but a poet is also one who possesses special powers of imagination and expression. And I don't believe there's any better way to describe her. My time with her was short, but it was the best time of my life. She opened up so many new experiences and perspectives I had never considered. She created, she shared, she loved and she laughed. She made my life feel worthwhile. She gave my life meaning. I cannot thank her enough for the time we had together. What happened to her was a tragedy, but I do not blame her for it. They say you die twice. I'm a bit later on when somebody says your name for the last time. I will not let her die a second time. I will never forget her, and I will never stop saying her name.
Thank you. Little Slip, please.
Hello, everyone. This is Little Flip. I go by Chibi in my day-to-day. I've prepared a statement. I will just be reading it. And here goes. I miss Kavi so much. I think all of you do. She lived in the UK, and even if I had the money, I don't have a valid passport. There's no way I could attend a memorial in person. I take solace in the fact that we could have this service today in her honor. Although we lived thousands of miles apart, she was the closest person I had. The one I let in the most. The only one I could freely indulge all of my odd quirks and interests, all inclusive. She was able to keep up with my intellect and understood my odd references. She shared my passion for horrible jokes and was always quick to put a smile on my face. This is a void that will not soon be filled. In hindsight, everything is 2020. It's true, you don't understand how much a person has made an impact on your life until they are gone. I am trying to heal personally and preserve her legacy. I'm committed to doing my best to help this community remain as a tribute to her. That's the one thing I can do. I don't want her to be remembered as a suicide victim. but as someone who cared about those close to her and her tight-knit community. I take comfort in the fact she is no longer has to suffer from her demons. May she rest forever in peace. This is extremely difficult for me. Many of you know the pain that I'm going through. My fellow pets and her lovers can attest to it. It hurts like nothing else I have ever known. She was so nice to me and showed me how to open up and lead others. She trusted me and helped me learn from my mistakes. She was hard when needed and quick to offer comfort. She accepted me for who I was and all that I am. Finding someone who accepts us for all that we are is so rare in this world. I have been hurt so many times in the past by previous relationships and even the actions of blood relatives. I will overcome this. I will not let her be my end, but my rebirth into an even stronger me. I am committed to being the best possible me. Her passing has left me broken, and it is up to me to rebuild myself and hang on to the support and people I have met through being close to her. Please do not hesitate to DM me. Her legacy is this community, and we all must fight to keep it together and let it continue. Please remember to take care of yourselves. I have not been doing a very good job of that, but I am doing better every day. I want to personally thank each and every one of you here today, and those whom could not make it. I know Mistress loved all of you. Thank you, Little Slip.
Thank you, Little Slip. Next, Surprise. You may have the floor.
That was Slip.
Yeah, I know. Surprise has the floor now. Surprise?
Did Surprise fall asleep? No, he's here. She's here.
I cannot hear you, Surprise. Well, the list is not alphabetized, so... I can't find you in it.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm very sorry. I said, first of all, I want to thank everyone that is here. And before I start with my own text, I speak for someone else who was very close to my mistress. And someone, yeah. Lionel writes, I'm sorry for everything we went through, even after everything. Just know I still love you and will miss you with all of my heart for years to come. I hope you finally have found peace and happiness. Love you always. That was from Lionel, one of her old pets. Sadly, she didn't find the strength to talk here, but I hope I did you justice, Lionel. For myself, I was fortunate enough to meet Kavidun and became her pet last year in June. We shared many memories, good and bad, and I learned a lot about her and her past. And also thanks to her, I and a place I can call family. We had our differences and bad times, but even then, I still loved her very dearly. She quickly became one of the most important persons in my life, and those of many others too. For those who didn't know my mistress, Kavidun or Positivity well, she wasn't perfect. She had flaws and problems which caused her to hurt others, but I know that she wanted nothing more than helping others. Her intentions were always good-natured and loving. It's amazing that even after all she went through, has still stayed pure. Sometimes I feel that all she wanted was to create a family. Her pet groups and this server always felt like a family to me, and I'm sure if sorry, and I'm sure if she sees us standing together in honor of her, and if she sees us supporting each other, she would be proud. I might not be able to wear her color physically anymore, but I always will be part of the group she created. And I always will keep the number 1138 and its meaning close to my heart. I hope wherever you are, mistress, it's a better place. You deserve your rest, and one day we will join you. And until then, we will make you proud and living the life you would have wanted us to live. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Surprise. Jasmine, you have the floor now. Give her voice, please.
Am I audible? Alright, I just saw. Okay. Kavidun. I've said a million things about her, but I still have a billion more things to say about her. I'll start from the top. We met on Twitter back in like 2014 or 2015. Neither of us could quite remember when. Our initial relationship was pretty negative. However, things did turn around rather quickly. Over the years, we've had an on and off again relationship, going in and out with each other. But we've always loved each other throughout this. Even when we both did some cruel things to each other that I won't discuss here, but we've just never truly separated from one another. We would always have each other as contacts. We'd never, for longer than 2 weeks. Sometimes we would just get back together in a day. We always comfort each other. We'd never let each other get sad too much. And most importantly, we tried our best to prevent one another from committing suicide. Throughout all of this, we had great times together. She introduced me to Breaking Bad, BoJack Horseman. She's been actively encouraging me to try to play Overwatch, which I will do as soon as I get a new computer. And one of the most important things she's done for me, she's given me an appreciation for music. I suffer with amusia, which makes me interpret most music as either noise or painful noise. But with her help, she's been able to slowly guide me into liking music. And now I can love a lot of music, even some that has vocals, which I've always struggled with. Then there's the Tulpa. Oh god, the Void, or the newer place that was created after the Void, the desert island. Tulpa I've met over the years have been a very enriching experience, and without them, I also wouldn't be the way I am today. To list them out, Dawnlight, Dashi, Pinkawat, Dewdrop, Abigail, Derpy, Dinky, Io Jr. and Bluecomb, Metro and Charm, Zinky and Cinnamon Rose, the last 4 being characters that somehow ended up in our mindscape. I've listed every single one that I've met and talked to. They were all amazing. Dawnlight is a great boyfriend when we dated. Pinkawat is a great person to slap sense into me. Abigail because she was a wonderful daughter to me and mother to Kavi. Derby for being a great mother for Abigail and being a great girlfriend in general. And all my characters just because they were weird and I loved them. Been with them so closely, it almost felt like I was actually with the Tolpe, as if I was in the mindscape with them. To conclude my speech, she'd want us to not be sad forever. Kavi was the embodiment of positivity, and she rightly deserved that name. Kavi was important to all of us in some way. Although I failed to save you from the suicide attempt, I will not neglect on this for too long. I know you wouldn't want that. I'll try my very best to keep every single one of us strong throughout this, and I know others will help me keep us strong too. Rest in peace, Kavidun Alexis Norris, aka Positivity. I will forever unconditionally love you. Thank you all for attending and listening. Adios.
Thank you, Jess. Breeze has already gone. Glide, if you wish to speak. Give Glide access to voice, please.
I think it's working. Hello?
We can hear you.
We can hear you. Go on.
I want to start by saying thank you for all being here. She'd be overjoyed to see you all here gathered for her today. I met Kavidun back in 2013, shortly after I first joined the pony community. Since then, we shared a lot of ups and downs, but even in the darkest of times, we were still there for each other. Even if things weren't perfect at those times, I was still happy to be there with her. Just getting to talk, spend time with her, or even just getting a hug. It brought joy to my day. She showed me a lot in our few years together, and I will always be grateful for what she did for me. She helped me to get over my shyness, she supported me with my issues, and most importantly, she led me all to you. She may not be with us here today in person, but she's up above watching down on us right now, smiling that we've all gathered here for her. The pain will be hard some days, but she will be there for us in spirit, helping us get through those dark times, moving the dark clouds out of the way with her new beautiful wings, letting the sun shine down upon us. She would want us to be happy and live life to the fullest, if not for yourself, for her. It helps knowing she's at peace and in a much better place now, her and all of her Tolka. While I was never lucky enough to meet her in person myself, I know one day I will meet again. We will all meet her. If on that day we can all be together again as a family. She was an amazing mistress, but an even better person. We will never forget you, Kevin. We love you. May your beautiful soul rest easy.
Thank you, Clyde. Now, Kira has offered to say another thing after the family has spoken, and I wish to speak myself. I am never good at... I don't feel that me making a speech up on a piece of paper would do Cavi justice. I don't think that the words that I make up and pre-plan would come from my heart and soul. Cavi, first off, before I do this, there are 114 of you in the voice chat. Just to let you know how proud she would be, 114 people. This would, for Cavi, this would make her so humble. She was a great person. I saw the greatness inside of her. She touched me in ways I don't think many people can. And while there were a lot of people who hated on her, who doubted her, who only saw the bad, I saw every piece of good. I knew it all in there, and I knew she could show it. I met Cavi 4 or 5 years ago. The time is so fleeting, I can't fully remember. When I joined Hypnoponies, when I joined the hypnosis community, and when I admitted I was a brony. She became my owner back then, if only for a brief moment before a small tragedy hit in the community. I knew how much she loved everybody, and from then on, I had always defended her actions, for I knew she had pure intent. Even today, I will do the same. I will defend her honor, and I will try to protect her. Hypnoponies was a community to me, or a family to me, as it was to her. Albeit the family that you would only want to see on holidays at best. Her and I shared we shared a sort of bond that I don't think many people could ever say in their lifetime. We knew how to play on each other, we knew each other's humor, how to deal with the good and the bad of each other. There were so many more good times than bad, and I wish I could remember them all. I thank you all for being here for me, for her, for everyone. Cavi, I've always loved you, and I always will, and you will always be in my heart. It will take me a few years to join you, but know when I go, we'll be together forever, just like we planned. Thank you for the year and a half you gave me, and I'm sorry for hurting you. Now, I'd like to give it to Kira. Please, take the mic.
114 people. Wow. I agree. I think Cavi would be humbled if she knew how many people were here for her today. That's wow. This is a heck of a turnout, even more than I expected. You know, I'm not going to read off a piece of paper for this. I'm just going to speak my thoughts because that's what Cavi deserves. I'm going to start with when we met. We met December of last year, so I didn't get to know her as well as you all did. And her and I had a love-hate relationship, as I'm sure some of you know. We fought over one person, and that person was Iolite. It was so funny because we both wanted him. We both had different ideas as to what kind of future we would have for him. But in that fighting that we would have, we would always find some common ground with each other. I remember that, I can't remember the context for this, but I had said to her that understanding is a three-edged sword. You have three sides to every story. There's your side, there's my side, and then there's the truth. And the truth is, Cavi knew exactly what I was talking about because the moment I said that, she's like, you motherfucker, you watch Babylon 5, don't you? And I said, yes, I do. Yes, I do. And we had a conversation right there about it. And we talked back and forth about different things. I remember we got into an argument about Star Trek versus Star Wars. That was interesting. In all of the time that I knew Cavi, she had some bad times, but she also had some good times. And you know, the times that she was bad would always bring out the worst in me, I felt. But every time she did that, she would force me to introspect and make me realize that I had bad parts of myself too, that I was not perfect. I had things I needed to work on, and she has inspired me to do so. Cavi did her absolute best in circumstances that were not good. And Iolite loved her. He loved her to pieces. I can't tell you how many arguments I had with Io over Cavi. It would always come up. So either way, Cavi was always on our minds, in either the good side or the bad side. This past week has been not so good for me, and definitely not so good for Cavi. I wish that I could have reconciled with Cavi, and I will never get that chance. And I'm so sorry. Cavi, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Cavi. I'm sorry that you had to suffer so much. Ceylon misses you, so does Luna. We all do. And despite the bad that we experienced the good too. Cavi was a good person. She had a good spirit. She meant all the best. Tell her all the things that I want to say to her. I will never get to tell her how loved she is, but I think that she knows. I have a feeling that she does. I have one last thing to say, and that is, in the time when Io and I were having problems back in June, the thing that really made Abby the best possible chance with me that I could give her was when she took me in after all the stuff that had happened between me and Io. She took me in. She comforted me. She made me feel better. She had this way of just sitting there and listening. And she encouraged Io to take me back in June when I thought things were going to end. And I owe her so much for that. And I will never get to repay her. Goodbye, Cavi. May you rest in peace. Your suffering has come to an end. You've been set free from your chains, and you will never again feel pain. You are with God now. Goodbye.
Thank you from the family, for saying your words, our words. Now, there are 114 people in here. I did not expect this great of number. I do not know how many people we could get to in a timely fashion, unfortunately, as it is a lot of people to talk. Tech, yes. What do you guys want? You can please speak up. Give Tech Disc voice, please. Or Glide will read the statement for Tech. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna read it for Tech.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was never good at writing, but this is important. I'm Techie. I was Cavi's pet for a long while, but left relatively recently. The reason doesn't matter. Despite it, we remained close. We were family, and I wish we had more time together. I wish I could have met her at least once in person. There's a lot of things I wish. She gave me a family of people that I trust fully and love completely. I will thank her forever for that. I hope that she's remembered for the good she has done for this community and not anything else. I love you, Kelly, so much. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Tech, for those words. As I said, I do not think we will be able to get through every single person who wishes to speak in a timely manner. There are people here who might need to go to sleep or do their own things. I'm sorry if we do not get to you all. Know that what I will do, if you are unable to speak for when we go into the other portion, if you do not get to speak by the time we shut this down, post it in the memorial text. Wait until I allow you to, and you can post your goodbyes there. For now, those who have who Kavi has considered friends, you know who you are. Please wait your turn. Those who are admins, people who have Kavi have considered close friends, raise your hand, your hoof. We will get to you in order. Thank you all so much. Okay, so Brodash, you were the first one, albeit a bit jumping of the gun, but I will give it to you.
She made it. Sorry, first.
It's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. I have to admit, I've only met her a few times. Every single time is, well, it was interesting. I hate to admit it. I've never grown or had a relationship with her whatsoever. But even though I've never really met her in person, I know she would say stuff to me if I had died. The first time we've met was on Film Fiction, My Little Dashie. It's like, I don't remember what form, whatever, but it was on Film Fiction. And I remember her calling me a stupid bitch. And then we argued for like an hour. And then Positivity Hypno came up, and I've been here ever since. I have to admit, I have never cried before, or at least anyone. And I have to admit, I have cried now. So thank you, Posy, for making me cry. You're the first human that's ever made me cry. My grandmother, my grandfather, my uncle, and my aunt. I've never cried at their funeral. But thank you. I am sorry. I've never really made up any speech. I've been gone for 2 weeks, and I've been gone for 2 weeks because I've been joining the army, and I was planning on telling everyone that I passed the ASFAB and being so happy and stuff, but yeah, I am sorry. I'm sorry for everything.
Thank you. Let's see, who is up next? There was a lot of people here. Brylith is up next. Okay, so on request for Brylith, post your text and I will read it aloud for you. While you're posting your text, I will go to the next person in voice. Waffles, please give voice to Waffles and you can have the floor. Waffles, do you have voice now?
Hello?
Okay, there we go.
Okay. My relationship with Kavi has always been complicated. We had our differences, but in the end, they never really mattered. Something that I failed to realize before is that we always cared about each other. At the points we were upset about with each other the most, she helped me when I was down, and I tried to help her when she was down. I'm glad that I was able to become her friend and get to know her more before her passing. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. That is all. I have your chalice.
Thank you. Who's next? I will read. Virus did not put their text up yet. Alan, it's your turn. Or no, okay, never mind. Everybody has already written paragraphs. Okay. Sweetie Belle, please. Your turn.
Thank you. My own relationship with Kavi was incredibly tumultuous, I would say. Over the 2 short years that I've known her, my opinion of her changed no less than half a dozen times. I once saw her as a friend, as somebody I could confide in, somebody who I believed had the best interests in heart of those around her. I saw her as a mentor at one point, somebody who could teach me to improve my own craft, and somebody who could help me become safer, stronger, better. I saw her as an enemy. I saw her as somebody who had hurt those closest to me, and as somebody incapable of doing good. And I saw her as a student once, somebody I could help, somebody who I believed had great potential for good. I saw the best of Kavidun. I saw her when her mere presence brought light and life and laughter to those around her. And I saw the worst of Kavidun. I saw her when she hurt those around me, and she hurt those closest to me. But through it all, through every success and failure, there is one thing that I can be certain of, and that is that Kavidun always meant well. Kavidun never did anything selfishly. She never did anything solely for her own benefit. It was always to help those around her. Failure or success, every action she took had others in mind. And I don't know what else to say. No matter what she did, no matter what she said, I know that she always meant well. And she deserved so much better than what she received. Rest in peace, Kavidun. You will be missed.
Thank you. Byleth has posted his few words, and I will read them now. I never really understood why Kavi gave me the Ladies of Perpetual Exemption role, replacement to the prior Kavi Likes You role. I was confused, honestly. I had barely talked to her, but I was truly honored that she felt I was of some sort of importance to her. I only had the chance to actually know her for a short while, but in that time, she truly inspired and helped me so much. Thank you, Kavi. You are forever in my heart. Alright, who was the one that just spoke? I know Sweetie spoke. Autumn, did you speak? I'm sorry, I'm a little disorganized a bit because there's so many people typing at once. Alright. Thanks, Sweetie. Thanks, everybody. Autumn, give Autumn voice, please.
Autumn Muse?
Autumn Dash. The one that's after Sweetie in the list.
Can Autumn
That
Dash
would be
send a
Pip.
second?
Autumn
Dash is Pip?
The one with Russian name.
Yeah.
A Russian little Pip?
Yeah.
That's...
I read it as Autumn, so I'm sorry if I screwed that up.
Oh, no, it's Pip, that's fine.
Okay. If the proper person has the floor, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. I met Posy a couple months ago. It hasn't been very long. And I wanted to share my experience with all of you. Most of you probably don't know me. But Posy sought to buy a website that I had created and been building up 2 years. And she wanted it because she'd seen that it had such a good community of people. And she cared about them. And I'd seen how much she cared about everyone here. And I thought that things would go smoothly. I had gotten to know her so well. We could finish each other's sentences. We didn't need to explain things to each other because we just understood. And I feel like that's the kind of person she was. A lot of you have had that experience. She was just that kind of person. You didn't need to open up to her because she got it. She understood. Unfortunately, things did not go smoothly, as you may or may not know. She did not act maliciously. She was actually trying to save my website from going under, but the merge failed. She accepted that the reason things did not go smoothly was her fault. She understood why I backed out of the contract. And it was a really hard time between us. I had to backstab her in order to get things done, to get things dissolved, and she died without telling me that she forgave me. I learned after she died that the reason she did not say she forgave me was because she didn't think I would forgive her for her mistakes. And I'm never going to be able to tell her that I forgive her. She was one of my best friends. I do forgive her. And now, even that she's dead, even though she's gone, there are people who are not forgiving her. There are people that are consuming themselves with hating her. And she's never going to be hurt by them again. And I hope that those people who are consuming themselves in that way find the peace that she now knows. Goodbye, Posy.
Thank you. Let's see who's next in the list. Dust Night Jade.
I'm Dust, full name Industrial Knight, and my true name is Wade. I wanted to say a word for, I didn't really know Kavi that well, but I knew her community, and it allowed me to open up, and I met my special son pony here. And I truly want to see this community live on past her, as many of us here do. I know that we're truly going to miss her. Goodbye, Kavi.
Thank you.
Oh, this is going to be a bit hard. I first learned about Posy and just the hypno site through her private messaging me And at that time, I was a part of the rival, if I don't know, rival side, if that's correct, Hypno Ponies. There were a lot of people saying no, don't, but I gave her a chance, and I'm happy I gave her that chance because I don't regret coming over here where she is. I'm sorry. I came to love her. I came to. I can't think straight. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm sorry.
Do you wish to just say your goodbyes?
From everything that's happened, I'm sorry for what happened to her, and I wish that I could have known earlier, so I could have just I don't know. Should we miss? Goodbye.
Okay. Alan, oh no, you. Okay, you. Nanospace.
So
Give me a half a moment, Nano. I cannot hear you unless I can't record you. Okay, you're good now.
So I'm joined the Hypno Ponies. No, Hypno Pos. I'm sorry, I'm so messed up right now. Positivity. I joined Positivity Hypno a few months ago when Cavi put all those ads on fiction. And from that first day, me and Positivity hit it off straight away. And we would talk for a couple hours every day. And then, like, and my biggest regret is that once her server started getting really big, I kind of would rely, like, I would distance myself a little bit to give her a little bit more space to work on the server. So we became pretty distant during that time. And then a couple weeks ago, we started talking again, and it was going all right. But then like what Pip said, all that stuff happened, and me and Positivity got in an argument about it a couple days before all this happened, and like we both said some things to each other that I regret, and I never got the chance to tell her. I'm sorry, listen.
Thank you. You're next.
Hi, how's my volume?
Audible.
Okay. Well, my name is Sylvian Underscard, but Kevi will know me as Skylar. You can call me Skylar or Rainderp or whatever, but I'm new to this her hypno group, so I hope you'll accept me as a part of the family. But I've known her for a good almost 7 years, to be honest, and maybe longer because I had her on Skype like since the pony community first formed, to be honest. But and But since then, the first time we met, I'll never forget the look on her face when I first saw her in real life. I'll never forget her beaming eyes, how happy she seemed to be, and she's always shown me how happy I should be and how much I should show that towards everyone. I'm kind of quiet in a natural state. I'm not a talker. I'm not someone special, and I wish I could have been there for her when she needed it most. But I really hope she can rest peacefully now and save us all a comfy spot up there when our time comes. And we all love her so much, and ever since our first meet, we met up every once few months. I loved driving down to see her, and every time it was a positive experience. But as you do, we had our ups and downs. We had our good moments, our bad moments, but at the end of the day, she always loved me unconditionally, and that's the lesson I learned from Kavi. I probably could think of more to say, but I didn't write anything down for this. But thank you for listening to me, and I really appreciate it. As someone who knew her personally, as in the real world, but I never got to meet her Tolpe or any of the hypno community people, and I really hope to get involved with that. And you guys, and I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it, and I love you all for doing this and putting this on. Gabby was my mistress. I was a pet of hers. We would date for about a year or so, but we never really broke up in a bad way. I just remained her pet, and she was the best to me. She was the world to me, and I'm sure the same applies to many people in here, and I love her as much as the rest of you do. So I hope you rest peacefully, Gabby. I love you so much, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Who are we on? Sylvian?
Sylvian.
Yes, thank you. Cronus, you are up next. Before you go, I do want to note that on the hour we will be ending this, so I apologize if you cannot make it. 114 people is a lot. Give Cronus a voice, please.
Cronus, you can unmute.
We cannot hear you if you're trying to speak. For now, just to keep things moving along, I will check back into people if you've fixed your mic. If not, I've got to continue on. I'm sorry. Fizzle, please. Give Fizzle voice.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. When I first met Kavi, it was after I had befriended Crescent, and she sent me a message. He was her pet at the time. She had sent me a message introducing her as his owner. And she gave me some advice on starting HRT to transition from male to female, and it was, yeah. We weren't friends for long. We never really formed a very strong bond. There was a time for a few months where the two of us were together. She considered me her girlfriend. I was a part of 1138 for a while until she ended up going back to Skype, and I ended up leaving from that. We drifted over something that I'd rather not get into, but just 2 weeks ago, I really started trying to reconnect with her, and she never seemed to. Sorry, we ended up breaking up actually because we never felt like we had the time for each other. It was a very short thing, and I ended up reconnecting with her just 2 weeks ago, and I thought everything was going so good for her. She put up a very good front, I suppose, and it was a shock to hear of the tragedy. And I just hope that wherever she is, she's happier now. Sorry, I feel like I went on long.
You're fine. We have Raisin, your mic's hot. You're fine. You say what you need to. I apologize to any messages that are coming at me directly, as I am focused more on the list than anything else. I wish to make that clear. Brylith wishes for me to speak up for him for his text, so I shall do that now. I only had met her for some months, yet she changed my life so much already. I was blinded by my own thoughts, holding me back, yet you broke that habit of mine. You kept telling me to keep drawing and told me not to give up. We had many arguments over this. But just before your death, I realized this. I realized you were right, and I never got to say thank you. Thank you for the things you have done for me in the short amount of time we could talk. But even so, I'll prove to you, I changed with every drawing I put out, or with every drawing I put out. I'll let the world know it's out there for you. You'll forever stay in our hearts and never be forgotten. Lash is the next one in the list. Please give them voice and... Lash, are you there? I cannot hear you if you're attempting to talk or anything. I apologize.
Lash a cup of palsy, right?
Yes.
Hello?
Nobody
Hello,
had
okay, there we
unmuted
go.
them.
There we go, there we go, cool.
Okay. Okay. I know most of you don't know me. The first time I messaged Cavi was literally a month ago today, the day of GalaCon. I just told her to have fun, and I was going to get her some artwork to her. She just seemed so happy about it, and it made me feel good about it. I wanted to talk to her more. I wish I could have gotten some time to get to know Cavi, like most of you or some of you here. I was just another member in her community, but this place made me feel like I belonged here. I just wish I had the chance to get to know her, talk to her. I'd like to say 2 verses from a song that I listened to like an hour before the service started, if that's okay with any of you here.
That's fine.
Many of you may know this, okay. May these 1,000 winters swiftly pass, I pray. I love you. I miss you. All these miles away. May all your dreams be sweet tonight, safe upon your bed of moonlight. And no, not of sadness, pain, or care. And when I dream, I'll fly away and meet you there. Sleep. Sleep, Kavi. Have a nice, peaceful sleep. Thank you.
Thank you. Aqua is up next.
I got my mic.
Okay, cool.
Hello?
Did you want me to go, or?
It's Aqua's turn.
Can you guys hear me all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, God, I'm all choked up. So, I do not know where I got the original link for Positivity server from. It was ages ago. It was almost a year ago. First time I saw the server, and almost instantly I fell in love with it. Just such a strong community. So many people. Without Positivity, there's so many friends I wouldn't have met, so many people I wouldn't have been able to see, and so much more I wouldn't have been able to do without her. She meant the world to me. She may not have known it, but she did. I made so many friends, and it was just, before then, I didn't have any Discord servers to call my own. I didn't have any friends to call my own. As a matter of fact, I apologize, I'm not. I've always had a bit of an issue with speaking, but without Positivity, my life would have been so very different. Hell, I probably would have beat her to the punch if I hadn't found this server. But that's besides what I'm trying to talk about here. I know you all feel the same way as I when I say this. She will forever be missed. I love you, Kavi. I know you never knew it, and I honestly wish I would have had 10 seconds warning, so I could have told you how much I appreciated you, and how much I cared for you before you passed away. My heart breaks for you. Rest well, Kavi. And thank you all for coming today. It means the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Alright, so the next couple are in text. I assume that they do not wish to speak, or they cannot. So I will speak on their behalf. MK Inst. If you wish to speak, you can. You're typing something. There was people who couldn't speak. Did you fix your mic? Alright, with our time constraints now, I wish to do a couple of select people, as everybody seemed to piled in at once. I'm sorry for all of you who couldn't get yours read or couldn't speak. Know that we all understand. I hope that you can understand. I wish to give the floor right now to Fire Bunny if they wish to speak. Still.
All right, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Positivity had one thing in overflowing amounts, and that is love for everyone. She might have had an odd way of showing it sometimes. Like, for example, the first thing she said to me when she started opening up and being my friend was she told me I talk like a giant autist, but she meant it out of love. And I know that because she continued to talk with me and she was affectionate afterwards. Positivity showed so much love for so many different people, and it's clear in how many people are here right now and continue to be here for her and spread her love and hold this vigil for her, that many people loved her too. She had so much love in such boundless quantities that she could not maintain it in just one personality. She spread it throughout her entire system. And so I would just like to take a moment in order to make sure that everybody remembers that Positivity loved all of us, just as we loved her. Thank you.
I did a massive screw up. When I read a speech earlier, I misread in the memorial list, and I apologize profusely. I misread, and I accidentally said Brylith for the previous speech, when in fact it was MIDI that the speech was supposed to be for. I am sorry to both of you, and I'm sorry to everybody about that. I'm so sorry for that. I wish to give the mic to I will, because I'm so sorry. I wish to give it to Melody. Please give her the mic. Melody Chaser, by the way.
Which melody?
Melody Chaser.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
So, when I first met Gabby, it was actually in a Skype call with Crescent, my master, and I was really skeptical of them at first because all I knew of them were the rumors spread by HP and trolls alike. But after we had met, we kind of kept talking, and I learned that they did hypnosis, and eventually they became my teacher. And over the time I got to know them, we became really close, and everything I know today, I owe it all to them. Cabby was a wonderful person. And they're the one who taught me that no matter what stood in my way, I could do it. They're the reason that stands today that I still mix music and I still sing. They, they had cornered me once in a practice stream on Brony Dumb Radio, and they had caught me singing, and they kept teasing me about my voice. And it's Cabby, Cabby teases and playfulness. And later that day, I had actually gotten a genuine compliment from them. And it had kept evolving, and they had been to most of my streams, and I had continued learning hypnosis from them. And as of very recently, we had a small fight, and we left on really bad terms. But Cabby, I'm sorry, and I forgive you. You mean a lot to everybody here, to me, and to the people who probably never know you, but know the server. You've changed so many lives. And I don't know how we're ever going to repay you. But maybe a start is knowing that we'll never forget you. None of us. I'll miss you, Cabby. When you're up there by the pearly gates, say hi for me.
For those two who had mic troubles, Cronus, did you fix?
I did.
Okay, you're next.
I met Cavi when she was in a dark place. Oh no.
Cronus, please continue.
It cut out. Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. I met her in a dark time. Yes, shut up. It keeps messing up. So, she was... I helped her out of a dark place. She was... Oh my fucking god. I'm sorry, it's not gonna work.
Cronus, we can hear you the whole time. You're not cutting out. I'm sorry, Cronus. They've left the room. Alright. The last person that I will allow to speak is MK Inst. They seem to have fixed their mic. So please, re-give them voice if they have been rejected. Or say something if you can.
Shall I continue?
Go.
Okay. Cav, I did not know you for long, at least not nearly as long as others around me have. However, I considered you a friend, and I think that you did too, but I wish we could have been closer. My biggest regret is not getting to know you better. I shared a secret about myself with you that I had and still haven't told anyone else in my life, and I felt like it was the start of a wonderful friendship. But as stated by others, I fell into the trap of leaving you in peace to manage the server without disturbing you, and instead drifted away, only popping in for a few words now and then. I wish I'd kept you company more. I leave you with a final eulogy, albeit in my usual style, overly long. Two communities driven by one person, HP and PH, two sides of the same coin, striving to revolutionize the hypnosis community, now a mirror forever shattered on both reflections. The common thread, a girl with passion and immense bravery, so beleaguered and browbeaten by her own past, always seeking to atone and better both herself and the world around her, who changed her name to Positivity, just to remind herself to simply keep chin up and keep going. A girl welcomed and loved by her community, whilst overworked with the pressures of keeping it maintained, yet refusing to let it beat her alone. A girl who had many lovers, many enemies, and many dreams, and never once ceased putting her all into all of them, until she had nothing left of herself to give, friend or foe alike, seeking only peace and prosperity. She did not consider people her foes. They were simply those that she hadn't tried hard enough to make amends with. And she tried, and she never stopped. Although it is undoubtedly preferable if she were to have found it in this mortal coil, she has finally found her peace. God bless her wonderful soul.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for your words. Even if you did not get to speak, I thank you. The community thanks you, and knowing Kavi thanks you. Unfortunately, we do not have all the time in the world to do this. For now, I want to have a moment of silence as we remember Kavi. We keep her in our minds and our hearts, as for a moment we all remember in unison. And after that, I wish to give it back over to Kira before we do the closing, to say some words about mental health awareness. So join me now in all channels, text, voice, for we are a people of the internet, and in text we speak, and in voice we speak. So I wish for you all to be quiet for a minute as we remember her. Thank you once again. And I will give the mic over to Kira.
Wow, first, I gotta say, I am proud of every single one of you, and I know Cavi would be too. 114 people. I know we've said this before, but damn, that's a lot. I just can't believe it. And just real quick, Crescent and I were trying to figure out how long this would go on for. We were like, 45 minutes, right? No, 2 hours. These statistics I have for you are going to make you likely very angry, all of you. It made me angry, and it made me sick to my stomach to find them out. I have a friend who works in the Trans Lifeline. It's a crisis line for trans people by trans people. And all of our operators are specifically trans or non-binary. And they have a certain cultural competence in knowing what it's like to be trans. So because of that, that's why our lifeline is so effective. In the United States alone, 41% of all trans people attempt suicide. 41%. But that number pales in comparison to that of the UK. And in the United Kingdom, 48%. 48% of all trans people under the age of 26 attempt suicide. I saw that number. I asked my friend, her name is Nina Schabel. She is the co-CEO or co-executive or whatever you call them. I can't remember. She's the co-owner of Trans Lifeline, and she got me those numbers. 48% of trans people in the United Kingdom under the age of 26 attempt suicide. In Canada, that number is 11%, 1 in 9. I have no words for this. This is ridiculous. This is abysmal. It is wrong. If you have a friend who is depressed, I have some statistics regarding depression in the U.S. 16 million people in the U.S. alone have had at least one major depressive episode in 2012. 350 million people worldwide suffer from depression. Causes, risk factors, there's really no single cause. There's a lot of things that go into that play a role into this. You know, brain chemistry, hormones, genetics. There's other risk factors such as low self-esteem, anxiety disorder, borderline personality, post-traumatic stress disorder. I have all three of these. Physical or sexual abuse, I've also experienced this. Chronic diseases such as diabetes, multiple sclerosis or cancer, alcohol or drug abuse. Cabby comes to mind with that one. Certain prescription medications can cause this, believe it or not. It's actually a freaking side effect, is depression and suicidal thoughts. Family history of depression can be also a risk factor. If you are depressed, if you are having suicidal thoughts, if you are having thoughts of hurting yourself, I want you to know you're not alone. I have hundreds, literally hundreds of scars all over my body from self-harm. And you know what? Every single one of those scars is a battle won because I am still here. Every single scar that I have obtained in my life is a testament that says I am alive. And for those of you who self-harm, you're alive too. Talk to somebody, please. Let somebody in. Don't become a statistic. Don't hurt yourself and in turn hurt the people who love you. We have over 114 people that came today to this service. All of us are hurting because of the actions of a single person. And I am in no way saying that the circumstances leading up to her action are her fault. But there's a saying that has been told to me time and time again by my therapist. The things that happen to us in life, the things that we go through, are not our fault, and we have no responsibility for them. But the way that we react to them, the way that we choose to cope, those are our responsibility. Cavi is responsible for her suicide. As much as it pains me to say that, as much as it might make you angry to hear me say that, Cavi did this. And I dare say she didn't have a right to. I love Cavi, and bless her heart because she was a good person. But before you do anything, stop. Just stop. You know, thank you, Fire Bunny, for saying that. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm so angry with Cavi. Angry because she didn't have the right to take the lives of all her system mates. She did not have the right to take Io's family from him. She didn't have the right to take Crescent's family. She didn't have the right to take anybody's family from them, and she did it anyways because she could not see past herself. She could not see past the pain that she felt. Just like a week ago, I know some of you must know that, you know, Io and I were going through a rough time in the last week. We still are, but we're doing better. In the last week, I wanted to kill myself. When he said that he was leaving me, I got in my car and I was gonna fucking wreck. I'm not going to lie. But I didn't. Because in the end, I didn't have the right to. Because in the end, I have 45 other system mates whom I would have ended their lives, and I had no right to do so. I would have killed an entire family, several families actually, if I had done that. And that is unfortunately something that Cavi did not see. If you are in the United States, I'm gonna look this up real quick. If you are in the United States and you are having suicidal thoughts, the suicide hotline number is 1-800-273-8255. If you are a veteran, please call that number and press 1. The trans life, I see actually there's a lot of people and trans lifeline number there too. There's a trans lifeline number. I used to volunteer for Trans Lifeline as both an operator and as their information security specialist before I resigned. In the United States, the Trans Lifeline number is 1-877-565-8860, and you will be connected, hopefully, with somebody soon. And that is for trans people in the U.S. For those who are in Canada, that number is 1-877-330-6366. Another great resource that I have used on countless occasions and have actually volunteered for is Crisis Text Line. I will say that Crisis Text Line does do what's called active rescue. If after they do a suicide risk assessment, they determine that you are at imminent risk of suicide, they will start doing active rescue. And that's for your safety. I used to not be a believer in that sort of thing, but after what, I have experienced over the last several days, I have to tell you, you don't have the right to end your life. You really don't. Not like this. It's one thing if you're suffering from a terminal illness and you're dying in 6 months anyway, in which case you have the right to determine your way of death because you're going anyways. But if you have years ahead of you If you have years ahead of you, please seek help. I know there are people who disagree with my statements, and I respect your opinion, and I respect what you have to say. This is my feeling on the matter. Because I never again want to have to lead a memorial service for anyone. I really don't. 41% of trans people in the U.S. attempt suicide. 48% of trans people in the UK under the age of 26 attempt suicide. 11% in the Canada attempt suicide. Keep that in mind.
May I, Kira?
Yeah, go ahead.
As a few of you have known, and a lot unfortunately do not, I saved Kavi from suicide 3 times. I went through painstakingly getting into the people or the police in her home area, the home she lived in. I had to spend hours with these people or not just with these people, but trying to get the resources in order to do it. I never gave up on her. I never wanted to. If you see someone struggling, as my therapist, my group therapist, which has helped me immensely, my therapy has made me a stronger person. I went to group therapy when I was 22, a broken man. I was so beaten up from my peers, from what had happened to me as a child. I won't go into full details, but I was a social phobe. You would not believe that today, at all by any measure, but I was a complete social phobe and I was an agoraphobic. I pushed myself to go to group therapy because at one moment in my life I realized I needed help. And if you need help, please seek it out. Seek professionals, seek through the proper channels. Please help yourself as I did me. If you really want to honor Kavi, please, you can show somebody the door, but don't try to push them through. It is of their own will to go through it. Kavi tried going through the door, and it shut in her face. So she tried dealing it with the best way she could. And I forgive her. And I thank her for trying. I want to give Luna a moment. I want to give Luna a song, and then I will do a couple closing words. And after that, I'll explain. But thank you all. Luna, do you have voice?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Luna will sing a very special song now.
Oh, crap, wait a sec. Okay. Short steps, deep breath, everything is alright. Chin up, I can't step into the spotlight. She said, I'm sad, somehow without any words. I just stood there, searching for an answer. When this world is no more, the moon is all we'll see.
I'll ask you to fly away with me until the stars all fall down. They empty from the sky, but I don't mind. If you're with me, then everything's alright. Why do my words always lose their meaning? What I feel, what I say, there's such a rift between them. Oh shit, wait. Let me just collect myself. He said, oh, shit. Here we go, sorry. He said, I can't really seem to reach you. I said, just stood there, never seemed to. Sorry. Never know what I should do when this world is no more. The moon is all we'll see. I'll ask you to fly away with me until the stars all fall down. They empty from the sky, but I don't mind. If you're with me, then everything's alright. If you're with me, then everything's alright.
I thank you so much for singing that. I sang along with you the whole way.
Thank you. I'm sorry for
That-
stumbling.
That song is my favorite song, and honestly, I was going to be playing it as the first song in Rabbit. Thank you. Now, I'm going to give some parting words here. After I give them, in the Rabbit Room, I have one of Cabby's most beloved songs and most beautiful thing she's ever sung to hear us out. Thank you. I wish to thank you all for joining us tonight in this service. I am so grateful and humbled that so many people would come to respect our dearly departed. Thank you. And as we leave, saying our final goodbyes, I wish to ask the family to remain alone for a few minutes, to have some alone time with Kavidun. If you wish to stay and join us, we are going to play a couple of videos, music pieces, and Cavi's favorite movie on the Rabbit. I think what I'm actually going to do is I wish I could do it for everybody. We could probably do the restream. We'll talk about it after. I might host it on my host a restream of it on my Twitch or the other stream that's up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for paying your respects. Cavi thanks you. And she is so proud of all of you. Know that. Now, as we leave, I wish for you all, if you cannot see it, if you cannot stream it, or see the stream, I wish for you all to click this link and listen in with the rest of us as we listen to Gabby sing Absent Mind. Thank you all.
Little changeling with an eye of void, a soul of kind and a coat of white. Here's your little lullaby, written by my absent mind. Sleep well, rest well, close your eyes. No more troubles, mind so light. Banish all your nightmares from sight. Let's flick a shot upon those troubled eyes. Rest now your vacant and glories unwind. Dissipate your memories and let yourself have a perfect sleep. Be little changeling with an eye of void. Forget all the pain that I've caused your soul. Let your 3 hours of sleep be of peace and rest on the bed.
Hello?
Please, quiet.
Dream away a happy and filled with love. A dream where you're peaceful with the stars above. Gazing up at that moonlit sky. Let all the nightmares pass you by and dream of a future where love is there, and dream of the life of a perfect man, the one you deserve, one full of care, as the moon just fills the air. Let's flick a shot upon those troubled eyes. Rest now your vacant temporaries unwind. Dissipate your memories and let yourself have a perfect sleep. Dissipate all your memories and let yourself have a perfect sleep.
Thank you all for being here. Thank every single one of you. And now, I wish for everybody that wishes to part, please do. If you wish to stay for the recording or the videos, I will provide links as I play them for you guys if you cannot be in, so you can participate with us. This is all recorded. I have it on my drive. There's been 2 others that said they would do it. You're welcome for it. You're welcome for me hosting. I could not let it go. I couldn't just not give her the perfect farewell. And though there were some problems, this is the perfect farewell for our Cavi. Thank you all.
I want to add a quick comment here. It's
Go
a
on.
technical one. When we begin streaming the videos, when we get to the movie itself, I will not be able to add the movie to the end of the Twitch recording, or Twitch will take down my channel.
Of course.
So at that point, I unfortunately must apologize to anyone if the rabbit room is still full, and I wanted to do that now while I had the opportunity while everyone was gathered.
Thank you. All right.
If I may,
what?
I will have the movie running on my Twitch because this Twitch is a throwaway account.
Okay.
So if you'd like to watch, I'm fine with this account being taken down.
Alright, so then after we use, I guess everybody could watch there if they can't watch on the Rabbit. I thank you all once again for being here. And for those who are not family, i.e. the ones in the family room, would you please kindly leave the room for us to pay our final respects?
This now concludes the memorial and funeral service for Kavidun Alexis Norris. As you were directed earlier, would non-family members please exit?
Thank you. I'm going to end the stream now for the respects of the family. Unless they wish for me to continue recording for their memories. Please post in the family room if you wish for me to continue. Huh?
I think this should be a private moment, to be honest.
Okay. I'm leaving it up to the family.
Yeah.
Alright, we have people saying that they want private, so I will end the stream here. I thank you guys for watching. I apologize for some of the quality derps in it. Thank you, everyone.